So it doesn't matter if it's this boat, or any of these. The process is the same. So in the last video, we went through what to do when you first get it. You know, clean it, organize it, and also order your hull card. Now, hopefully, some of you guys were able to do that and got the hull card for your boat. So that it's pretty interesting. Some of the hull cards, they have stuff written in them, like special options. It's pretty neat to see also like where the boat came from and maybe get a little glimpse of its journey. But the next step on this one is that we removed the hardware. Now, we made sure that we wrapped it all really nice and packaged it all up. Not so much to ship, so we didn't go that far. You don't need to do that, but just put it away and get it organized and put it on the shelf. So the next step in the process is we'll be removing the gauges out of here. We'll move the steering wheel. I think what we're going to do is keep this stuff in here because it's integrated into the top deck. So we're not going to mess with that, but we are going to get all the floorboards out of here, everything that we can get out of the boat, because we want to make sure that this thing is as light as possible when we flip it over. We still have the fuel tank to get out of there, and then also the engine to get out. So next week we'll be working on removing the engine out of here, and it's a big 6-cylinder flathead M that the owner, he wants to put a modern engine in this boat, and so we're going to be investigating that a little bit to see what motor is right for this. And a lot of people would be like, well, why would you do that to such a rare boat? This guy has a number of boats, and he wants to use this as a daily driver. Now, the only thing that we're going to do that's not going to be correct for this boat is that engine. Everything else will be exactly like it is from the factory. So if you saw this sitting at the dock and the engine box wasn't open, you wouldn't know that this didn't have its original engine in it. We got to do a little bit of research on the steering wheel too, possibly send that out to get restored as well. We'll do that as quick as possible because the steering wheels and some pieces on these boats take a long time. The chrome usually is now taking anywhere about 6 months. The steering wheels can go a year, year and a half sometimes. The engines, sometimes you won't be able to get the engine back. So some of those things you have to think about, like if you have to have your engine rebuilt, you want to do that soon in the restoration, because if they run into any problems, have to search for a part, you could have a hull that's done and still waiting for your engine for 6 months or so. So that's the way we do it. We send out our gauges, we get the engine done, all those big hard components that take time, we do that first and send that out. So the chrome will be going out. We've got a couple batches that are out now. So we'll wait for those to come back. We'll send this stuff out just so we don't overload our chromer. It's pretty simple process. You just might make sure you label everything and take a lot of pictures. We've taken a lot of pictures of this boat. And just so you have that documentation of when you put it back together again, you have that information. So that's really important to do. So while the guys were cleaning up in the boat, they found a couple of these, and this is not money. Now, Zach's gonna share something with you on the history of this. So Zach's been here for quite a while, and he is the one behind the camera. So he's the one that monitors the camera for us when we make these. So down in the comments, say hi to Zach and tell him how good of a camera guy he is, because he does sound and camera very well.
I try. So yeah, we were vacuuming up, and you can always tell when something is old and actually old. And it's always fun to open up the papers and see what's written on them. And just what little bit on these says New York, United States, 80 finishing, the Carborundum Company. So I went to Google and Googled that, and apparently the Carborundum Company was founded in like the late 1800s, and they essentially, from what I gathered, invented or came up with all the like silicone carbide, abrasives, grinding wheels, and sandpaper. So I am only assuming that this is probably sandpaper from some point along the boat's life. And since it's so old, you know, we could maybe think that they used it to help build the boat.
I mean, it's not a far stretch for sure.
And I think the company is still around today. But yeah, it was kind of fun to find. Fun little knickknacks. All
right, so like I said in the beginning, the process is the same. And it doesn't matter if it's a pre-war Sportsman or a post-war or an 18-foot Riviera. The beginning of the process is the same. Make sure you document everything, take a lot of photos, and then make a game plan for how you're going to tackle the restoration step by step. It's never a bad thing to write things out and write them down and get them organized. So hopefully that was helpful for you. Stay tuned for the next one. We are going to be removing this engine, the gauges, and that kind of stuff. Hopefully we'll get to the point of rolling it over, but we're going to share that with you and talk about it. If I find anything that's interesting and I want to share with you, I will definitely record that for the next one. We'll see you back here. Bye.